Imagine, instead of just one Vault Dweller coming out of Fallout 4's Vault 111, there were actually two. And no, I don't mean Sean, because technically there were two. Imagine, 10 years before your character wakes up from Vault 111, there was someone else. Someone who was not a chosen one, but your normal, average, everyday Joe. Your normal, average, everyday you. In fact, imagine this person is you, and you alone. You have no children. You have no wife to mourn. You have no loss. But you have now simply walked out of a vault to a nuclear apocalypse in America's Commonwealth. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be telling you how and why you could survive the Commonwealth in Fallout 4. But before I continue with this video, let's set up some ground rules. Number 1, you come out of Vault 111. That is where you spawn on the map in the actual game. That is where you spawn on this game. Rule number 2, everything that the player character can get from Fallout in the vault, you can get. That includes the pistol, that includes any other item, that includes everything in the vault. You can pick that up and take it with you, but then everything else is up to you whether you take it or not. And number 4, I think we're on rule 4, but the number 4 rule is you have your experience. If you are the average American at home and know how to shoot 12 people with a 12 gauge, then congratulations, you have an advantage to me, who is British.
Dad, do you want a cup of tea?
And it's like super hot.
Come here. Do you want a cup of tea, Dad?
Oh, fuck.
Dad, do you want a cup of tea? Alright, let me know when you finish.
And number 5, subscribe to this video. My girlfriend thinks my jokes are unfunny, my YouTube channel is dying, and I need subscribers. That is all. Now, let's continue with this video. You awake days from Vault 111 and begin making your way out of your cryo chamber. You realise that no one else has woken up, but you choose, for whatever reason, not to wake anyone up. In the vault you find your pistol, you find several other tools, some stim shots, and then you make your way out of the vault. Once you are out of the vault, you are greeted with your first obstacle, Sanctuary. Now, I talk a big game about Sanctuary, but is it actually that big of a threat? Absolutely not. You see, Codsworth would still be Sanctuary, and if we're going off of like some weird Fallout timeline, let's say you wake up, I don't know, 40 years before the main character, so even baby Sean is still in the vault. So Codsworth is going to be completely friendly to you and anyone or anything in Sanctuary, aka the bugs or anything like that. And we're going off base Fallout spawns and base Fallout enemies. If there is a raider outpost in a certain location of the map, I'm going to assume it was there 40 years ago. That's just how it is. The only reason I say 40 years ago is for plot purposes that you haven't got, I don't know, mainline Sean as the head of the Institute and stuff like that. So, yeah. Sanctuary is actually quite a helpful start, but I don't think you'd be able to stay there. Now, why don't I think you'd be able to stay there? Well, first of all, Sanctuary is not warm at all. When the radiation storms come, where the hell are you going to hide? Now, you could make this easy, and here you go. Here's the end way to survive Fallout 4's Commonwealth. Don't leave the vault. Just don't leave the vault.
That was easy.
Is what you would say if you're an idiot, because we all know that there is no food in the vault, and remember, you're you. You need to drink, and you need water. Now, we know that you can drink irradiated water, but it will slowly kill you. Now, we also know that in Sanctuary, there is stim kits, some guns, and also, Rad-X, so we know that you can get some form, and Radaway, so some form of protection from radiation. However, it will not save you forever. And as for food, well, there's some munchy crunchies around Sanctuary, but nothing really too important. Now, I'm going to cut it straight to you. I'm going to tell you the complete truth. After all, this channel is called Truth Reviews.
Shut the fuck up!
I think your main goal should be getting to Diamond City and getting to it fast. You see, Diamond City is the only place, other than perhaps Good Neighbor, that is guaranteed pretty much, I'd say 80 to 70% safety. They have food, they have water, they have jobs you can have, they have a house you can stay at, they have a hotel you can stay at. You are pretty much safe in Diamond City. It's protected, it's safe, and you can live your days out there in peace. But how do we get there? Well, let's discuss this. Getting to Diamond City will not be an easy task at all, and the first thing I think you need to 100% avoid is Concord. Now, the reason behind this is because we know that there are raiders in Concord, and don't tell me there's only raiders if Preston is there. There are definitely raiders in Concord. We know this because if you go back to that same place Preston is held up, there are raiders there in the museum. So this is an 100% avoid at all costs. This means you want to take the back sort of alleyways / back bushes of the Fallout map. For plot purposes, we're going to assume that, like I said before, the map and all the NPCs and all the enemies and all the protagonists and everything are still there. It's 40 years ago, but for some reason, it hasn't aged. Listen, work with me here, okay? The 40-year-ago thing is just so that, you know, you can understand that your real character hasn't woke up yet. Just work with me.
Shut up! Stop. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
This would mean on your way out of Sanctuary, you meet Dogmeat. Now, this means you already have an instant companion with you, a dog. Now, how strong is a dog? Yeah, not greatly strong, but I'm gonna say he would be a much bigger benefit than going on your own, so a smart person would take him with you. Now, like I say, you want to avoid Concord, so you're gonna go through the back sort of bush of the Fallout Commonwealth, going around, in fact, the diner where that woman is being held up because her son did a mad amount of Jet, YouTube, please. So you want to avoid the diner, and then from there you can sort of just take the outskirts through the small city area without any trouble, and then you want to approach Diamond City itself. Once you get to the actual Commonwealth City, you want to approach Boston and Diamond City from a far bridge near the side of the Brotherhood of Steel where they're hanging out. You want to approach it from that side of that area, and basically you want to just head in through that bridge and stick to Diamond City's walls, and where the Diamond City police are actually fighting the super mutants, I would go that way past the super mutants, because you just gotta hope you're not getting shot at, and I think that's a safer way than going all the way around. Once you get into Diamond City, what is your game plan? Well, there are a few jobs you can have at Diamond City. I think the best one to go for would be Diamond City Police / Security. You see, you get a gun, I assume you get training, and it's not that boring. You'd also get paid, which is good. You could set up your own stall, you could be a caravan, you could do anything like that, or you could even just, you know, be homeless, but you'd be safe. The water there isn't 100% cure, but you get caravans in that deliver purified water, so you're fine. There's food there, there's markets, there's people, you're safe. But let's talk about other things you could do. Well, one other place you could have went to was Bunker Hill. Now, Bunker Hill is actually probably a quicker place to get to, because all you need to do is go from a farm straight to Bunker Hill. However, Bunker Hill is not safe and not guaranteed safety at all, and here's why I think it's the worst choice, or one of the worst choices. Bunker Hill constantly has raiders threatening it, so you're constantly at risk. Your only job option there is really to be a caravan worker or work for the railroad. Working for the railroad as a faction is high risk. You're pretty much against everyone wants to kill you, so I wouldn't recommend that. And working as a caravan is pretty much as much risk, because once again, everyone wants to kill you. Now, I also hear you shouting in the comments down below, but Truth, what about Good Neighbor? Well, I also really wouldn't recommend Good Neighbor at all. Now, Bunker Hill and Diamond City are pretty much easy to get to. I didn't go into heavy detail on how to get to them and how you would, because they're pretty much easy to get to. You can get to Diamond City within, I'd say, 8 hours of walking, so it shouldn't be too hard, and you can get to Bunker Hill within 6 hours of walking, so once again, it shouldn't be too hard. If you needed to sleep, you could sleep in like a mesh or in like an old bus or something, and eating and drinking for 8 hours, you can make it. Come on, don't be a pussy. But Good Neighbor is a lot more in the heart of Boston, and this means it's a lot higher risk. Dog meat can fight off enemies, like rad roaches and like mole rats, but he's gonna struggle against super mutants. Super mutants have guns. You are not killing a super mutant. We're gonna assume you're an idiot, you have no gun training, you're not American, and you don't know what you're doing. A super mutant is gonna kill you instantly. You also have to avoid rabid dogs, raiders, gunners. Overall, it's a very bad time, and even once you get into Good Neighbor, the first fucking thing you're greeted with in the actual Fallout is you're shown how brutal it is because someone gets stabbed. I mean, insert British joke here.
Smethwick, Birmingham, if you want the fucking brawl, come down Smethwick Hospitality, I'll come out my house, and I'll break your fucking legs, you little prick! No, say! No, fucking say!
But yeah, I just don't think Good Neighbor's a very good choice. Now, there is always the additional option to just go to a farm. For example, next to Sanctuary, there's a very close farm that you can access. However, it's a high-risk life and not really a lot of reward. I mean, the farmers do look to have stacked with caps because the caravans always go to them, so they clearly have a lot of money. And to be fair, to get your food, you need a farm or you need that place. So if you're a farmer, everyone wants to be around you in terms of caravans, so you'll get lots of sales. But it is so high risk. Raiders come after you, super mutants come after you, gunners come after you. Literally everyone wants a piece, and you have no protection. Sure, the Minutemen might be a thing, but I feel like you're still fucked to a degree. Like, to a degree, you're still screwed. Also, living in a shack, I really won't, I don't really want to take my chances there. You're wet, you're cold, you might die of hypothermia, you might die of lack of food because your farm was bad, you might die of lack of water because of the radiation. Yeah, not a great choice. Now, I have actually thought about this question of what would you do if you were put in Fallout 4, and for a long time it was go straight to Diamond City, live out the rest of my life there, but that's a really boring life. So, you know what I would actually do, personally, me? I would join the Brotherhood. Let's assume that the Pribwin has arrived and, you know, they've set up here, blah, 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 blah. The first thing I'm doing is joining the Brotherhood. And yes, I know this is a big ask because of where Boston Airport is. You'd have to fight ghouls, super mutants, you know, a lot of different enemies, mole rats, dogs, weird Mirelurks, you know, weird shit. But if I could make it to Boston Airport, I'm signing myself up to the Brotherhood. Why? Because you get a life. The railroad, you have a 90% chance of instantly dying. They give you hardly any training, I assume, anyway. And if they do train your agents, great. But you're fighting against fucking Institute and the Brotherhood and Raiders and Gunners. And everyone wants to kill you, so it's a terrible idea joining the railroad. If you go for the Minutemen, well, they're going to collapse anyway. They always do. And you can't join the Institute. The Brotherhood is the best choice of joining because you get a bed, you get water, you get, food, and you get badass friends and accommodation all for free. And they give you training, like full training to be a soldier. They give you power armor if you get up to the rank of a knight. I mean, it's sick, and sure, it is a very high-risk job. Sure, you'll probably die at the age of, what, say you're like 20, you'll probably die at 40, like, it wouldn't surprise me, but at least your life is worth living. You get to go into battle with brothers, you know, you've got a life there, and you know what? I would take the Brotherhood. But what would you guys do if you were dumped in the Fallout map coming out of Vault 111? What would you do? I would personally join the Brotherhood, get some training, get a gun under my belt, be able to actually join the army, you know, actually have a life. But what would you guys do? Let me know down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe and comment down below what you think I should do next and what you thought of this video. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.